in for this application to be recognized by CSBA Golden Bell. Now I would like to call up our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Jose Niguez, and our
that's the guy that
Services Production Coordinator, Anna Bush, to present the Child Nutrition Services presentation.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Potter. With me here today, as stated, is Anna Bush, our CNS Nutrition Coordinator, and to my left is our CNS consultant, Sally Sparrow. And we wanted to give you an overview of our CNS program here tonight, beginning with the first slide.
The San Ysidro School District Child Nutrition Services has 33 employees. At district level, we have 4 in the office, and we have 7 site leads and 23 school nutrition service specialists.
And with that, this.
Sorry. Okay, with that said, we serve, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Over 3,000 or 72% of San Ysidro School District students qualify for free or reduced. We serve breakfast, lunch, and salad bar and a supper program at all sites. School calendar breaks. Meals during school year breaks.
So with that, we wanted to, we'll speak more to it here in just a slide or two, but we want to make clear that at our district, every single student eats at no charge. We have what is known as a community eligibility provision, or CEP for short. But we do want to point out that there is currently a federal proposal to increase the threshold for that CEP that I'll explain in a slide or two. But down below, I'm not going to read every detail, but you can see just how many meals we've served over the last 2 years, and it's a significant amount, especially as it pertains to lunch. So thank you, and thank you to the CNS staff. And with that, we also wanted to talk here about what we are pushing for more and more, and many of you had an opportunity to sample that here at the beginning of the board meeting. But Anna, would you like to talk about this?
Yes, so here in San Ysidro in Child Nutrition, we strive to give the freshest prepared meals possible. So 73% of served meals are freshly prepared. The state average is 40%. Daily salad bars with vegetables and fruits are at every site. Inclusive of students, we have taste testing that we go to schools and we're sampling different menu items that we want to put on the menus for the students. Increased variety of fresh fruits and vegetables and freshly prepared meals, including molitas de nopal, quesadilla tacos, egg rolls, and pancake sandwich.
Nice.
Links, we also have linked to district menus.
So before we show you the link to our district menu, I wanted to give Sally an opportunity to also speak to our freshly prepared meals, because as I said, it is very much a focus this year. We really want our students to have the best by way of freshly prepared meals.
Thank you so much for learning more about our program. As it's been mentioned, one of our goals this year is to continually have meals that have more fresh fruits and vegetables in them for the students, to serve meals that are responsive to what the students want to eat. And one of the things that I recently did was analyze our participation figures. And what I found out was, in the past, we would often see that there would be a spike when we served pizza. But this year, our meal counts are very similar every day. So we think that it is telling us that our students have a lot of trust in the food, that they're going to get something that they like every single day. One of the things that's also been a goal of ours is to increase our communication with the parents. And so I think we're going to have the link to our district menus. Oh.
They're gonna have to click on the hyperlink in the remarks.
Okay,
So this is the landing page for.
yeah, it's right on the district's website, and you can see it's organized by the school. And it's available in multiple languages. If you go up there, you can select whichever language you want. There's about 30 more that I could put in there, but that just gives you an example of the kind of things that we want to be able to communicate. There's also a place where you can rate the food. Yeah, and if you go on to, La Mirada, you'll see, why don't we look at lunch? Yeah, let's look at, anything, yeah, okay, yeah. We have these taquito samples for people today. But if you click on where it says taquitos, it'll show a picture and a description and the nutritional information for that item. Yeah, and then you can read it down here. So we really try to have a lot of information for decision making about what goes on our menus. Another thing we're really committed to is having one vegetarian or vegan entree every day for lunch, because we want those students to feel welcome in our cafeteria. We also are committed to supporting our local vendors. We work with local farms in season as things are available. We get our tacos and enchiladas made here right in the same Seabrook. And so we're very committed to supporting the community. So.
And I just want to say one more thing here, because 2 more slides if you're counting, actually 3. But what I want to say is a lot of the success is literally a direct result of the taste testing with our students. So we're actually getting our students involved in their feedback. So now we're going to share a few successes and challenges with you within our CMS department.
Okay, so last year we had a positive state audit commending for our quality of menu and meals. We increased student taste testing and choices. We received the golden level turn the beat around awards that only 14 are given out for the whole state of California. So for gold. And then recently we hired a new area production lead to help out in the different tasks that has to be done between the offices and our office and the cafeterias. Meals counts have remained stable, which represents that our students really do enjoy their meals. There's no spikes. So that's something that we really are striving for. CNS is financially self-sufficient. Again, we have the new bilingual detailing menus interface, and at this time, we're fully staffed in our department.
Thank you, Anna. And so some of our challenges, supply chain, is just always going to be an issue right now with regard to the economy, but that's one challenge that we're trying to overcome. But another challenge that I'm going to speak to here in detail on the next slide is the impact on our schools, not just our school, but all of our schools here in California with regard to some of the proposed federal mandates. Next slide. So right now, as indicated, we operate under what is known as a community eligibility provision, which essentially means that all of our students receive 1 breakfast, 1 lunch, no questions asked. This is separate from our after-school meals program because we do offer that, but once again, no questions asked. And in addition to that, students can eat the salad bar as often as they want. They can come back as often as they want to eat from the salad bar. And as a comparison to the right, there is another program that's called the Free Reduced Meal Program that I'm going to get to in a second. But what I wanted to say is, if you look at that left column, second row, the threshold for a district to qualify for the CEP threshold is 25% right now. And that is what we're concerned about, that is going to increase. Everything that's coming to us right now, all of our information is that threshold is going to increase to 60%, as you see in the right column. That would be beginning the next school year. So what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is we may not meet that eligibility district-wide. So here's what we anticipate to the best of our knowledge. That is to say, if in fact the number or percentage of our families that we need to qualify for this is now at 60%, that is to say, meet the federal poverty threshold, we anticipate that 25% of our students are not going to be eligible. But we also anticipate another 25 who may be eligible, but may be either afraid to apply, because what's going to happen is they're going to have to provide documentation of their income. So it is possible that combined 25% plus 25%, as you see in the last row, could lead to a significant loss in revenue, because Anna did say earlier that we have to be self-funding. We have to operate independently of the main budget here at the district, and we do that by essentially serving meals and being reimbursed. And so now, as you can see, if we're not going to have our students that are going to be receiving these meals, we're not going to be able to essentially be reimbursed for those. And so what may end up happening there is we may end up essentially not only losing the number of meals that we serve, but also possibly reducing staff. And that's really the bottom line. And no one enjoys hearing that, but it looks like that's what's coming down for next year. But with that, yeah, absolutely, yes.
I just want to have a question.
Yes.
So what you're saying here is because of the federal government's cuts to our free school lunch program, that we're not going to be able to serve our kids next year.
That's propaganda.
Not necessarily. What I'm saying is that there's going to be a new protocol that students and families are going to have to go through in order to receive a meal. Whereas right now, every single student in our district gets a meal, no question asked, you don't have to submit any paperwork. If that threshold increases to 60%, what's going to happen is every student who wants a free or reduced meal is going to have to submit documentation about their income. And so as a result of that, some students are going to be eligible for that free reduced lunch, but not all.
I have a significant problem with that. I'll tell you why. Because you and I both know, and I worked for a nonprofit for 11 years, that kids are going to fall through the cracks in terms of the application process. Furthermore, the fact that a child qualifies and have to submit their income essentially singles them out with other students. I have a significant problem with that, Dr. And I think that's really the main issue that we as a board have been dealing with regarding the current presidential administration's cuts to this program. Because ultimately, we don't want our kids to not. And our kids, especially those that are transitionally homeless, rely on that meal as their main meal of the day. So I want us to think creatively, because this solution is unacceptable for me. And more importantly, if there are nonprofits through our partnerships that we can work together to help subsidize those meals, it's extraordinarily important. Kids are going to go hungry because of this stuff. And I just want to lay it out there.
And I also want to make sure that we give support to parents who are not filling out these applications. Sometimes it could be, and I'm not saying language barrier, because I know we provide the information in Spanish, but sometimes we do have parents who don't read, can't read, or I've seen the forms, because we used to do this 25 years ago.
Right.
And sometimes the forms are very complicated, so parents might look at it and say, I don't know how to fill this out. So I really think it's going to be very important that we have support where, let's say, when the children are being registered at school, that we have somebody just there available to help parents fill out any form, because I don't want to see something like this for parents to have to do it online. Online is not the solution to so many things, because so many people can't do it. I've seen parents crying at this district because they couldn't fill out the registration online. And so we have to understand that there are many people over 50 who may not be techie. And so this is going to be something very critical so that we don't have a child not eating because they couldn't fill out the form.
Absolutely. I want the board to know, duly noted, please do not think in any way that we intend for any child to go hungry. We just wanted to apprise the board of the situation that we're in based on the federal mandates that are coming down. And we are definitely already working on what we can do to help and encourage, not just help process, but also encourage, because a lot of people aren't even going to get to that point where they're even going to apply, because it's times right now where they may be scared to turn in paperwork. And so we're going to do everything we possibly can, not just online, but also in person, to be welcoming. We're going to work all of every, resource we already have, because Beto, who's back here, for example, we're going to be working with her as well, because a lot of them are already directly qualified. They don't necessarily need to then take and fill out paperwork with us separately, but we're going to try to essentially streamline it as much as possible and to be as welcoming as possible. And there are other ways to also provide meals for students in certain situations, but our goal tonight was simply to give the board an idea as to essentially what it is that's waiting for us here in the next school year, but we're certainly planning for it, yes.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Anna Bush, for mentioning that 72% of our population with students do qualify for free meals, and that's what I'm assuming is because those 72% are low income. So 25% could be the only population that might not apply because they're not low income and they can't afford food, right? Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. I just wanted to reaffirm that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that low income students will be receiving.
But again, if I may, the only difference is, because you're correct, they will be getting a meal. It's just that now they're going to have to go through a process of applying.
Yeah, like before COVID.
Correct, but you are correct. They are eligible for a free or reduced lunch, yes. Yep. Okay, so if there are no other questions, last slide, we wanted to simply thank everyone, and for that, I'm going to turn this over to Anna. We try to recognize our superheroes every day. They work very hard, as you see. We serve every day, 3,200 to 3,500 lunches every day, and it's the same for breakfast.
Yes, I'm very proud of my staff. They come in every day motivated. Our goal is to feed the students nutritious and delicious food. And a lot of things we have to overcome to get to that point, but we all come together, come up with suggestions, have conversations with the students, make it a very welcomed area for them to come in. And we do celebrate CNS superheroes every May. So it's a way for us to give back to our staff to show how much we do appreciate all the hard work that they do.
So in closing, we publicly want to say thank you to everyone in CNS for your hard work. It is not an easy job. It gets hot in there, and it's just a lot of work. You really have to work as a team to get all those meals served. So thank you to everyone here at the table, and thank you to everyone at home, CNS staff. So thank you.
Are there any more questions regarding this presentation?
I have one question for Sally. You are the certified CNS, actually, you're the one that makes the menu for the food, right?
Yes, I do, but it's a team effort, but in the end, I have to do all the certifications.
I just wonder why we don't offer lactose-free milk. Is that something that, it's not considered requirement? I know you give milk, regular milk, and you do have, I think it used to be, orange juice, but I think you don't anymore.
Right, it's something that any parent can request, and we will provide it.
Oh,
So, yeah, we don't necessarily put it out for every student to take But if the parents want their children to have that, they just need to let us know and we'll provide that for them.
Would they let would they let the staff at the school, the parent?
The parents.
Or is there a form that they would need to fill out or no?
Yeah,
There is?
It just says, I want my child to have this milk, and then you sign it. That we have it, in case the state comes and says you're not serving milk to children the right way. So,
The other question is, I don't know, Mr. Ennis, I know some time back, I made a comment and I wanted to see if the ovens at the schools were, inspected to make sure, because I know that a lot of parents complain and the kids, that when their lunch is come, they get served, they sit down and it's cold, so they don't want to eat it. So, but I think you did do something, you made a,
yes, and we retrained all the employees, and then we have them document the temperatures every day. Yeah, and every year the ovens are inspected and recalibrated, yeah. But that was a good feedback because it, it inspired us to tighten things up.
okay, thank you.
Absolutely, and since you asked, I have to say one more thing. With regard to anyone who asks us, a family, whether it's an IEP, whether it's just a medical note, as long as there's a medical note, we always bend over backwards to help families with special diet needs. Or I don't know, maybe there's a peanut allergy or things of that nature. But all we ask is just let us know what the doctor note recommendation is, and we have always been over backwards. These two ladies are always there to help and make that happen. In fact, that's already happened, maybe 4 or 5 times this year?
Oh,
Absolutely. More than that, yeah.
That should always be in the IEP if that's the.
Yes, but it's not because of that we help anyone who has a medical need. If it's a 504 IEP or just a temporary medical need, that's what we do.
You want all the students to feel that they're welcome and kept.
Yeah, of course, just for people to know that they need to put it in the IEP, just if it's a student with a disability or something that can affect his diet.
If there are no other questions, thank you.
Thank you. Nine point three, overview of construction project protocols and campus security. We do have one speaker slip, Roxanne Palestino. 9.3.
This is for item 9. Okay. Good evening. Roxanne Palestino, and I'm a proud parent and advocate for students with special needs here in San Isidro. And we've done our homework. We read the Dr. Thiel's report, and the truth is painful. This district keeps failing our special education students year after year. That report wasn't written for decoration. It was a mirror reflecting everything families have